Morning.
Educators Drink Coffee. Good morning. Today I have a very special guest today. I have Mr. Stefan Bill. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, great. Well, this is Educators Drinking Coffee. So I am Colombian, so I am biased too. So I am drinking Colombian coffee. How about yourself? What are you drinking this morning?
Well, I am German, and I usually drink some coffee sometimes, but not too often. I like to mix it up. So this morning I actually got one of my favorites. It's half lemonade, half water. Kind of weird, but
Gotcha.
you know,
All
gets
right,
me
cool,
going.
cool. Yeah, no worries. And this is not, you don't have to drink coffee at all. It's just something I started. I'm like, I drink coffee and this and that. So,
Yeah, trust me. I was thinking about like which kind of coffee should I bring, and I
and
just stuck with the lemonade. Just keep it simple.
I say, you say you have a German background now. I always tell people this now, like, this is a regular size mug.
Yeah.
Colombians don't drink regular size mug
Oh yeah.
size coffee. No, I mean, when we drink black coffee, it's probably about this tall. And it's the,
Yeah, it's almost like the Italian style espresso.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love those. Oh my God.
Yeah, they're powerful and they're great. But yeah, and we usually have one pretty much like when you first wake up to kind of just wake you up. Then you eat breakfast. Mid morning, you have another one,
Yeah.
and then probably late afternoon, 3 or 4 o'clock, you have your third cup of coffee. It just sits well, and it does absolutely nothing to me. My wife and my daughters will not drink it like after 8 o'clock because they say it won't sleep. I'll drink one before I go to bed. It can make a difference. So. But anyways, no, we're here this morning talking to you. So in part because I wanted an opportunity because I saw recently that you were named Extraordinarily Exceptional Educator for the fall of 2020. So that is awesome.
Yes, thank you.
So, but before we even talk about that, tell us a little bit about yourself for some folks that may not know.
All right, so my name's Stefan Bill, as you mentioned earlier, and I just moved here actually in January with my wife and 2 children. And Elizabeth, my wife, she is over at Central Elementary, actually. She's also a teacher. She's a music teacher.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then my kids also go to school there. And we bounced around a couple times here in North Carolina since 2005. We both came from New York. And I was originally from Germany, as I mentioned earlier. So I did, a couple of self-contained classrooms. Now we call them separate setting.
Yeah.
And my wife did band teaching in elementary school. And then my last job was actually at a charter school. I was a EC coordinator there.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, and she was the band director there. And that was a little stressful. So decided to move out to the coast for a little bit easier living, less stress, more family time.
Hey, we have that in common. I've done the same thing. Kind of moved out here towards the beach, closer. So awesome. Way to get here. Way to get here. Like I mentioned to you, I'm born in Colombia, Medellin, Colombia. Came here when I was about 5 and 6 years old, but I grew up in South Florida.
Oh wow.
In Palm Beach County, and then moved up here in about 2004 and worked in Pitt County and Greene County before coming out here to Pasquotank. So I was an art teacher myself, so I definitely understand with your wife being in the arts too. It's tough, and sometimes it's tough to find some jobs in those in those fields because we stay here for a long time.
Absolutely. We looked up and down the coast actually because special education jobs, every county, there were like 2 or 3 special education jobs. So I had my pickings. And for Beth, it was, of course, she was trying to look for the music and special education job in one spot. And we found this one up here because also we have relatives in Virginia Beach. Mm-hmm. And then her sister moved out to Williamsburg because the husband's Coast Guard. So everything kind of fell into place. Mm-hmm. And this is where we ended. Beautiful little Elizabeth City.
Yeah. It's awesome. Great little place here.
Mm.
Good. I know my principal, Miss Crutch, just said good morning. She's watching us, trying to.
Oh, good morning.
Wondering who this Stefan Bill was that I was going to interview. But good. So tell us about the recognition you had.
Okay. So I was very surprised about that. Of course, that was really cool. I was definitely glad to receive that. And I just got here in January, so I was really like, how did this happen? Just doing my job.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, I happened to be at the right time, the right place at the right time. We had a bit of a turnover rate at PW Moore at the beginning, and that was due to a teacher leaving, another teacher left. right before the summertime, right before, even like almost before COVID, somebody had left. And then it was just, it's hard to find replacements for special education jobs sometimes, like even though there are lots of them open, but find good qualified people is not that easy. And then I happened to be here, and thank God for Ms. Whitby, who's also here. She was helping out. Yeah. We're trying to diligently work on making sure everything's compliant and making sure the kids are getting the services they need, And so it's not just me. That award is really more for the people who are here helping me, making me look good, really, to be honest, at the end of the day. But yeah, right place, right time.
Yeah, oh, that's awesome. Awesome. You give props to the people that you work with. And it's true. I mean, we all really can't do our jobs ourselves alone. Right. We need each other's help to be able to do this. Awesome. So tell us some of the things that you've been working on with your kids now. We've been mostly remote. With you guys coming back in, how does your day look like?
So in my situation, it's really tough. It's a separate setting, so my kids are all hands-on. Mm-hmm. Some can do some independent stuff, but they still need verbal prompting at the very least. A lot of times you need physical prompting too. So I got half of my kids at home, mm-hmm. And half are in the school. And right now my load is about 12 strong with an extra with the 13th edition for homeschooling. So the 6 that come in, we're continuing to work on the IEP goals, just like with the other ones that are home, work on the IEP goals. A lot of them were basically it's such a big range. It's K through 2. So I got some kids that are like just learning print awareness, the print concept awareness, emerging readers basically. And then I have some kids that they know the alphabet. And then I have a couple of kids that can, from memory, use the sight words. So I really want to work with getting some independent skills going where they don't just use it by memory, but they're actually being able to decode. And then, of course, life skills, lots of life skills. Like right now, hand washing, biggest thing to learn.
That's
continuously. How to basically just take care of little functions like eating, feeding yourself and stuff like that too. So we got a good mix of different varieties, functional skills versus academic skills.
No, that's awesome. And that is something that some people don't realize when it comes to, maybe when you're working in a self-contained or special ed classes, the range of skills that you have to work on. Yeah. You literally, and because of the IEPs, you're planning individually.
Right.
So that is a very tough task. As a classroom teacher, and I was an art teacher, I'm pretty much just broken down maybe into 3 kind of levels. Mm-hmm. But you got to go well beyond that, and really personalize everything. And, when you're, there's definitely a little give and take when you're in a classroom about, 20 something, you may not be able to individualize. So that's why you kind of break things up into groups and stuff. But you're very critical in the fact that you do have to individualize. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
No, there's not. You got to just push through because these kids, you want to expose them to everything that the general education classroom exposes the kids to as well. They deserve the same right, the same,
exactly,
same playing ground. Basically same playing field, and you try to even that playing field as much as you can. But at the same time, you also have to pick up on the basics that are lacking a little bit, and that's just it's not so much. I got to think and remember always, like, if I think it's tough, how does the kid feel? At the end of the day, it's like, I got it made. I'm okay. This kid, we need to help this kid as much as we can, basically.
Yeah, that's very true. I got to stop for 1 second. It's just, like I told you, I'm from Colombia. My mom, this is one of the ways she sees me every Thursday. So, buenos dias, madre. I just have to say hi to her. Watching from Colombia. So, as her and my dad have retired back to Colombia. So, she enjoys watching me. And one of the things I guess I also wanted just to ask you is, seeing how I guess ideally, what do you wish you could be doing with them now? I know we're constrained by our health policies and things that we have, but what are you hoping maybe for the future that you will be able to work with your kids, to do with your kids?
Well, if none of this would be going on, I would like to be able to just function, like to really like focus on the functional skills a lot, to be honest. And if I could focus on functional skills more, I feel like I could set up basic building blocks, because they can bleed over into the behavior situations. And if you have that under control, then you might be getting the focus better under control. And I mean, I would like my kids to turn out to be functional members in society. And our kids really can. And I'm talking about mostly the separate setting kids. I know when you think of me as EC teachers, you think like, oh yeah, most of those kids can be functioning, but like I'm talking about the smaller population. I would love for them to be able to be taught a good work ethic and be able to little basic skills that you can do, because there are jobs out there and there are people out there who create jobs for the population. So they don't just have to rely on welfare. I worked also in special needs groups home in Charlotte for a while with adults there, and I get to see the full program there. Like half the guys there would work. They come home, bring paychecks, and it makes them feel so good. Like they come home happy and proud, and you can tell the difference there. So, and a lot of times people don't see that with our kids.
No, there's a lot of VR vocational rehab that really help them get it kind of like installed and kind of in their local communities, and then that's awesome.
You get to see that at the high school probably more, because the high school works with OCS and with the vocational rehabilitation.
Exactly. I see that. No, that's awesome, man. And one of the things that I really would love to do is I told you this is my third year here. I would love to see, and I get there's always fine line between keeping confidentiality and things like that, but a peer-to-peer kind of mentoring thing. Well, we kind of have a buddy, similar to like what we do with Special Olympics. Yeah. Yes. But in the school setting, because we have so many of our regular ed students and special needs students that really want to interact with each other, and will do an amazing job. But it's trying to find a way to connect them with each other, and of course, creating the right environment for that to happen. There has to be some teaching on one side to be a little.
I think that would be great, like a Big Brother program, but for the students to take an active role, leadership, like within. And I thought about that before too, because you have at the high school, I know you have volunteer hours that you need to fill, right? So that would be a perfect thing to use for that, to be a buddy, have a buddy system or like a mentoring program, and then use that for those volunteer hours.
Maybe this would be the start of something here between you and I in our school.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, I see, how much with some of our kids, it brings out so much leadership in them and just ownership of being able to help somebody. And I think at heart, all of us want to help each other and seeing it. And to me, I've done some research, and one of the things that on the one side, it helps kids, again, feel a sense of worthiness. Also, attendance increases. Yeah, because they know they are responsible for doing this job, or having this friend that they communicate with on a daily basis. So yeah, definitely I like the idea of doing that, like across schools and things like that. And that makes making me think. So awesome.
I know, I'm already zapping. I'm already like going off thinking like, which area really needs it. Middle school kids really need guidance. They could definitely use something like that.
Well, good. Well, no, I mean, trying to think anything else here as far as, is there anything in the horizon coming up with your classroom, your school that you may want to mention too?
Well, no, right now we're just, I guess, waiting to see what happens in the next couple of weeks, whether we're going to, be at school, whether we're going to start going remote. Different counties, as I'm sure, are at different stages. So right now it's more of a, try to keep the anxieties low. Try to just smile and get through the day.
You're right. Yeah, no, it is. We just got to take care of business today, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. Be prepared for tomorrow, but see what happens. Well, Stefan, I do appreciate you joining me this morning.
Well, thank you for having me. I definitely appreciate this. I was a little nervous about it, but
no problem. I know we talked earlier, I think behind the scenes, that you're, soccer fan and things like that, and love soccer. So that's pretty cool. I said that's definitely same for me. Not embarrassed, but Colombia just lost, I think 6-1 on a qualifying match for the World Cup to Ecuador. So I'm really bummed out. 2 games in a row, we've gotten our butts kicked. So I don't know what's going on there.
Listen, I know how that felt because we went out in the first stages on the last World Cup, and that's not like us at all. That was the first time ever.
Yeah.
It'll be all right. But if you ever are still playing and when this COVID mess is kind of like died down, then maybe let me know if you guys have a game going somewhere because I'm itching to go play again.
Oh, same thing with me. So I appreciate it. Well, Stephane, again, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I will also rebroadcast this later on at 6 o'clock for anybody who might have missed it.
Perfect.
That's how we get a lot of our views. So thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you for all that you do, and congratulations again
all right.
on your recognition. So with all that being said, this is Educators Drinking Coffee, and I'll see you next Thursday.
Appreciate it. Thank you.